All right, on this go around with Project Mercury Rising, the car has made it back to the hideout. We've taken it off the rotisserie and have put it back on the factory suspension for the time being. While the car was being cut and buffed, Shannon did notice a few areas around the hatch that needed to be reshot. Luckily, that was a lot easier to fix than what it seemed. So I don't think we've mentioned this before, but because the car had been in multiple accidents, Shannon did have to source a driver and passenger side door. While he was masking the doors off to paint the frames in the exterior gray color, he noticed that he had sourced manual doors. No biggie, right? Just take a hole saw to your perfectly painted doors and drill some holes to accommodate the wiring and the rubber boot.
It's been really nice to do this before we painted the car.
The car was then covered in some drop cloth so that several exterior moldings could be painted in the factory gray exterior color. These parts included body moldings, door lock cylinders, the rear wing, cell panels, outer door belt moldings, and anything else that needed to be gray in color. Thus far, there were several late nights put in to get the car built, and one of those nights included Shannon and LMR employee Jordan Hetty masking the front and rear bumpers and the quarter window surrounds to prepare them for the exterior gray color. Headlights and tail lights were installed, and then Shannon switched gears to interior insulation. Now, if there was a flat spot in the inside of this car, it got boom mat. From the floor pan, the roofs, the hatch area, you name it, it was insulated. So on top of all this boom mat craziness, a complete insulation kit was installed to further reduce vibrations, road noise, and keep the interior well insulated. The last step to this multi-layer interior insulation project was Scott Hubbard putting this awesome Firewall insulator to ensure that Uncle Ted has a super quiet interior. The run channel weather strips, outer door belts, lock cylinders, quarter window frames, and the door handles were installed, and some of this stuff was a two-man operation simply because Shannon and Hubbard, they didn't want to scratch the fresh paint. While all this was going down, the factory seats were thoroughly disassembled by Dougie England, who is a longtime best friend of Shannon, and he sent those off to a local upholstery shop so that they could get freshened up. With the help of Tony Hetty, who is another one of Shannon's longtime friends, and his sons Jordan and Curtis, they installed the bubble glass into the rear hatch, along with a brand new Ford original windshield. At this point, the Capri is coming along nicely and is starting to look really good. Shannon addressed a few more of the exterior moldings, while Hubbard and Dougie addressed the pedal assembly, HVAC box, and started to lay out the carpet. There is still a lot of work to do, so stay tuned for the next installment of Project Mercury Rising.